What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Wake and Cake. Myself and Z-Man on the ones and twos today. BBD is on vacation. It's like in Aruba or one of those.
He's in an island.
He's on an island.
Yeah.
He's on an island, literally and figuratively, if you want to get heavy. So me and Z are chopping it up this morning. There's NFL playoffs. That'll be coming up in a little bit, and we'll kind of set the stage that was this weekend and walk you through it. And we need to follow up baseball-wise, and where we'll start with winners and losers. Whoa, soundboard kicking in early today. Because I love this stuff. Being just a true sports fan, I was raised by SportsCenter. I think sometimes the headlines of winners and losers can be corny, but those are also the articles and stuff I would listen to. And the AL offseason winners and losers did well. Social media, YouTube, and the apps. So, in the whole thing, Zach, I don't know if you knew this.
Yeah.
But basically, free agency is done. It's Correa. Like AJ Pollock signed, and we talked about that on Talking Baseball a little bit. But that's like... AJ Pollock is slotted in to hit 8th for the Mariners. So, we're kind of at that point of the offseason where hopefully we get this trade rush. Hasn't happened yet. Hopefully our Yanks do something. Because there's been some rumors they're done,
Yeah,
Zach.
I heard that.
That second half of the lineup still doesn't look great. But let's do some National League, and I want to give a shout-out Andrew Allen, who made the graphic for us. Because I talked about it in a very Jake fashion, and he made a very Jake graphic that was winners, kind of winners, who cares, and losers. And I think I want to start with a who cares real quick, because it's the Nationals in the East. I'm an East to West guy. Don't care about the Nationals at all, man. That's, how quickly did that change? World Series champs, no Soto. Zach, here's the top half of their lineup right now. Lane Thomas, C.J. Abrams, Joey Meneses, who I know you use him in MLB The Show, but that's about it. Kelbert Ruiz, Jamer Candelario. I'm sorry, Nats. You guys had a little bit of a fall from grace. I hope in a couple years it's a good thing because the rest of the NL East is so good. So maybe they're rebooting at the right time. But Nats, that's a real big... I got nothing for you. The New York Mets, I think we could solidly put them as winners. They had a lot going in, a lot going out. But Brandon Nimmo came back. Edwin Diaz came back. That was the start of free agency. Ottavino came back. I know that's important for you. Conforto gone. It's funny they have him listed on the page, even though because his last team was technically Los Mets. They brought in JV. They might be bringing in Correa. Kodai Senga, we have no idea, but people are excited. And Jose Quintana. So, the Mets, as far as free agency goes, especially if they bring in Correa, even when they didn't, Uncle Steve, New York's excited, Zach. You hear it in the streets.
Yeah.
What do you hear?
All those Mets fans saying, we're excited.
Jolly's getting an ego.
He's confident, and he should be.
He's getting an ego. Yeah. We need to chop him down this year. Your Atlanta Braves. Zach, another obviously powerhouse team. They've lost some guys. They lost Kenley Jansen and Dansby Swanson. When you look at that on paper, that's not great. Couple other smaller pieces. Robbie Grossman. They had the Sean Murphy trade, which again, this is supposed to be free agency, but we allow a little wiggle for something like that. Otherwise, free agency wise, I don't know. I think I would put them in kind of the somewhat winners category because they added Sean Murphy, they extended him, and just what this team does. Also not. I think I'm going losers, Zach. I think I just flip-flopped. Wow. Dansby was a huge part of that team. And they just let him go, and we give the Braves credit because they deserve it, because they've been a really well-run franchise. But as far as free agency goes, they did get Lucas Licky from the Yankees, our guy.
You might be flopping back.
And he's growing out his beard. Jimmy DM'd him.
Yes. Yeah, I remember hearing that.
Jimmy treated him like a real beat reporter, which is funny. Yeah. He gave him like a real answer. Like, no, man, that's not who we are. How about this? Maybe I'll stir the pot. Braves are losers. Bang. Take that. Clickbait. No, they lost Dansby Swanson. He was the all JM NL shortstop last year.
Yeah. Like,
can't give them a win when even Sean Murphy for Swanson is kind of a loss, I think. Now we trust that Atlanta will take care of it because they've been one of the best run franchise in sports. But okay, that's an interesting part of this exercise. I didn't anticipate that. The Phillies have been active, including they just did Gregory Soto trade to add to their bullpen a little bit. I think they're a winner. They had to trade Turner. That was like the first big free agent to fall. They added Taijuan Walker, came over from the Mets. And yeah, they've just added to that bullpen. So I think, and maybe that's what makes the Braves true losers, is that I think the Mets and Phillies are winners this offseason. While the Braves, even if they were net neutral, which I don't think you can say, the other two dogs in their division, nothing.
Two big rivals got better.
And there's not really an argument against it. Miami, I think we're going to double up in the just don't care. Their best case is nothing. It sounds really rude. Mm-hmm. We do this every offseason. God, they have some young pitchers. They signed Gene Segura. Sound off in the comments. You could put them slightly better. Their lineup, Segura, Chisholm, Cooper, Avasale, Garcia. They're unfortunately a don't care.
The thing is, I'd love to see the Fish do something.
Right.
And it would be a lot of fun, but I just don't think they're set up for that.
I mean, Gene Segura. Yeah, they're a don't care. Yeah. Tough break. Hopefully they do a big trade. They've been rumored for a big trade forever. But as far as that goes, it's a no. The Chicago Cubs. I just mentioned them. They lost Wilson Contreras, which should be of note. Mm-hmm. Been an all-star with them. Catcher, he finally goes on. He goes to St. Louis in division. Other than that, I mean, Jason Hayward, Andrelton Simmons, Fran Meal, he's fell off. But Dansby Swanson, good. Cody Bellinger, they took a shot on him. I don't know, but if he plays anything like good Cody Bellinger, that's good. And Jameson Taillon.
We like a lot of those guys.
I think as far as you can say, the Cubs, what left and what's coming in, I think they had a winning free agency offseason. Happy for Cubs fans. Just signed Hosmer, too. I don't know if that's a plus or a minus at this point. Not to be rude, but I think I'm being a little rude. Our Milwaukee Brewers. Zach, we were there.
Yeah.
On the field.
You did go there.
Who did they lose in free agency? Andrew McCutchen, Omar Narvaez, Taylor Rogers. Trevor Rosenthal was with them. They did a lot of their moves via trades. They brought in William Contreras as a part of that big trade. Jesse Winker they brought in via trade. So I think what I'm going to do for the Brewers, because I don't think we've put a team here yet, but I think they're a kind of winners.
Okay.
It's not a pure free agency. I think they're graded on a different scale. But if Jesse Winker is good, and William Contreras should continue to be young and good, like Colton Wong left, but they brought in pieces. They did very much a Brewers retool. I think I'm going to put them in our kind of winners category. Speaking of St. Louis, as we continue our east to west journey, the Lewis and Clark. And by the way, speaking of east to west, how about DraftKings, Zach? Woo. DraftKings, the NFL playoff picture is here, and my go-to place is obviously DraftKings. They've been with us for a little while now, and they are the official sports betting partner of the NFL. You can bet just $5 and win $200 in free bets instantly. They've got their no-sweat bet going on each day of the wild card round this weekend. Place an NFL bet of your choice. If it loses, you'll get a free bet back up to $10. Well, hey! Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code BAKERS. How about that? Like Dusty. BAKERS. New customers can bet $5 on the NFL and get $200 in free bets instantly only at the DraftKings Sportsbook with code BAKERS. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Your St. Louis Cardinals, Zach. They lost Jose Quintana. They got him at the trade deadline. He was pretty good for them. Alex Reyes, he was kind of closing for them. Wild, but good at times. They signed Wilson Contreras. I think that's kind of their only big move this offseason. They were rumored to be a part of the trade market because they have a surplus of outfielders. They haven't done that yet. Wilson Contreras in, Jose Quintana out. That's a slight winner. I don't think that's a full winner. I think we can put them in the slight winner category. God, that's huge, huge news for us in St. Louis. The Pittsburgh Pirates. They technically haven't lost a free agent yet.
No.
Susugo, Roberto Perez, Banuelos, Gamel, and Marisnik, none of them have signed. So, technically, they signed Austin Hedges. Did they sign Carlos Santana? They did. Rich Hill? Vince Velasquez? Your Pittsburgh Pirates are slight winners. I don't know what else to say. I can't say they're losers. I could say don't care, but I'm not going to do that.
They're currently holding on to Brian Reynolds. So
Brian Reynolds seems to be a big part of their offseason, and if they get through it without trading him, that's a win for Pirates fans, right?
Yeah.
O'Neal Cruz, Brian Reynolds, Ke'Bryan Hayes, those are like three guys you want to watch.
Those are fun guys.
G-Man Choi also came over via trade. Same with Connor Joe. I'm going to put the Pirates in the slight winners category. God. Pittsburgh, raise up. Delete that in post.
Yeah.
We're going to delete that in post. So Cardinals, Brewers, Cubs. Oh, the Cincinnati Reds. Oh, no. That's another franchise that, you know, Mitch in the office is a big fan. None of their free agents have signed. Moustakas, Mike Minor, Colin Moran, Donovan Solano, Yankees great Justin Wilson. That's tough, man. Have they signed anyone? They signed Will Myers. They're a don't care. Sad to say, but Cincinnati Reds. That's a tough game to put on.
There's a time recently where you thought they would do something.
The 2020 season, they put all their eggs in that basket and then poop basket. Out west. Couple big teams out here, Zach.
Okay.
Your San Diego Padres.
Yeah.
They've been a team everybody's talking about. Everybody's talking about. Who did they lose? They lost Brandon Drury. Traded for him. He was good. Jurickson Profar, still a free agent, but was good for them, like their everyday left fielder. Traded for Josh Bell. Sean Manaea, not good, but got signed in division. Will Myers gone. They re-signed Robert Suarez. They re-signed Nick Martinez. Clevenger gone. So there was a lot of flow with the San Diego Padres. Who came in, though? Matt Carpenter. Oof. Man, how fun was that when it was right?
Yeah.
God, he was awesome. He was awesome.
It's a great stretch.
Oh, he was a video game. He was
one of the best stretches in baseball.
He was so cool. They brought in Xander Bogaerts on that big contract. Adam Engel, if that does something for you, not much for me. They signed Seth Lugo. I'm going to put them as winners. I mean, the fact you were able to sign Xander Bogaerts to a $280 million contract, and this was a team that people didn't think they were going to be players in free agency. A lot still kind of went out, but the two big pieces of their bullpen at the end of the year, and then everything else that did go out, Myers, Manaea, Bell, Profar, Drury, I mean, that gets covered up by Bogaerts, who's going to be a staple of your organization. And, I mean, a Matt Carpenter assist, even though we're not going to get too hyped by that. But Padres, it's tough to not call them wieners. My Dodgers. Are they losers, Zach?
What have they done?
Trey Turner.
Gone.
Yeah. Tyler Anderson, who was really good for them. Gone. Justin Turner. Cody Bellinger. Mm-hmm. These are some mainstay pieces. Chris Martin. Coldplay. Andrew Heaney was really good for them. Craig Kimbrell. Joey Gallo. Tommy Kahnle. That's a lot of dudes.
Yeah.
I also don't know what you want to label Trevor Bauer. That's a situation going on. Who they brought in? JD Martinez. Solid. They re-signed Kershaw. They signed Noah Syndergaard. That was a sneaky little, if they can tap into him, there's something there. They're kind of losers this offseason.
A lot of big pieces where a team that used to feel like they got everybody.
Their focus has been on resetting their cap.
Yeah.
And, I said a lot of names with the Padres. Will Myers, Sean Manaea, some other guys. Trey Turner is supposed to be like a top 10 guy in baseball.
Yeah.
Tyler Anderson and Heaney combined to give them a really good season last year. Justin Turner's been a core part of that team. I think the Dodgers are losers. Interesting. The San Francisco Giants. Oh, God, I just realized I'm going to have to grade the Diamondbacks in a second. It's always tough for me. The San Francisco Giants, they lost a big piece. Carlos Rodon.
Yeah.
He's now a New York Yankee.
They also had a lot of close misses.
Right. We thought they were going to be a Judge. We thought they were going to be Correa.
Yeah.
They re-signed Jock Peterson, who was good for them. They lost Longoria. Brandon Belt, still currently a free agent, so we will see. Tommy La Stella's floating around. They released him. They signed Conforto. Mm-hmm. How about that? Mitch Haniger. Remember, he was supposed to be the tag team with Judge for a couple hours there.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Sean Manaea. They signed him. Ross Stripling, who was actually good last year. Taylor Rogers, and they teamed him up with his twin, Tyler Rogers, so we really like that. Zach, there's an argument. They're slight winners. Because there's a lot of bodies coming in. But they also thought they were getting Judge and Correa.
Thought they'd get one.
They actually thought they had both. The Arson Judge thing in my brain is a lot different than the rest of society's.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because we were doing stuff, and it was Heyman.
Yeah.
That I never processed it. I think we were doing an interview, so the time that Arson Judge from Heyman went to apology.
Yeah.
I didn't live out the heart sink of Aaron Judge might not be a Yankee. You did. I saw that Office blog.
Yeah, we all felt it as soon as it happened.
Which means Giants fans also felt that.
There were graphics that went out with the Aaron Judge jersey swap as a Giant. They're like, right. Aaron Judge is a Giant now.
And Correa.
Yeah.
So, and they lost Rodon. They're losers.
Yeah. That's tough.
Rodon's been one of the best pitchers in the National League the last 2 years. They had stuff come in, but between losing Rodon and just kind of the general heartbreak that went with Judge and Correa.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Giants. Arizona Diamondbacks.
A team very close to your heart.
Super close to my heart. And let's not forget they signed Evan Longoria.
Yeah.
They traded for Lourdes Gurriel Jr. in that Dalton Varsho trade, along with Gabriel Moreno, super prospect, as I like to label him. Who did they lose? Jordan Liplow. I'm putting my Snakes as slight winners.
Okay.
Evan Longoria.
Yeah.
Trev's favorite player.
Yeah.
He's going to coach all the young guys and elevate them. It's addition by addition. You can use that. My Rockies, Jesus Christ. The Rockies re-signed Jose Urena. They lost Garrett Hampson and Carlos Estevez. The Rockies are losers. I mean, how else can you even chop it up?
Who's your favorite player on the Rockies right now?
My favorite player on the Rockies, I'll give not an outlier, but first Daniel Bard, because we saw him and he was nice to us.
That would have been my answer. Yeah.
And that's all that takes.
Yeah.
I think I'd like Ryan McMahon if I watched him more.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposedly plays really good defense at third base, which I like. Lefty hitting third baseman, that's a little fun. CJ Crone is a fun story. Charlie Blackmon's been cool.
Yeah.
It's faded a little bit, baseball-wise. Randall Grichuk, he's a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
We love these Rockies. We're putting them as losers.
Okay.
So, what did we learn, Zach? I like going division by division.
Mm-hmm.
Padres, labeled winners. There's an argument it's slight winners, but I think they're winners. They brought in Xander Bogaerts. Tatis will be back. That shouldn't count, but kind of does.
They didn't have him last year.
Dodgers and Giants didn't put them up, labeled them losers. So in the division, I think you could say the Padres are the clear winner of their offseason. In the Central, you're lumped into this now.
Okay.
So if people come at you online, I'm sorry.
You can credit all the opinion to me.
Cubs, we labeled as a win. What does that mean? Cardinals, we labeled as a slight win, I believe, which they're still the big dogs of that division. Like 93 and 69 last year, 19 games above the Cubs. Mm-hmm. What the Cubs did to win and what the Cardinals did as slight winners, not 19 games. The Brewers, I believe they were also slight winners, and they lost the division by 7 games. So, I don't know. The 3 top teams in the NL, I think, improved. The NL Central, which when we did the AL Central, there was only one team, the Guardians, who won the division.
Yeah.
Twins lost Correa.
Yeah.
White Sox, mid. So, sometimes we're tough on the Central. I'm talking baseball. I think you could say all 3 of those teams got better. How much better did the Cubs get to actually compete with those other teams? I don't know if it's enough, but in the words of Armand from White Lotus, happy for you. Very happy for you. And in the East, Phillies and the Mets have been winners this offseason, while the Braves, tough to label them. You trust who they are, but they lost their star shortstop. They brought in a great catcher, but with what the Mets did and what the Phillies did, the NL East should be a lot of fun, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I know it already was last year, and the Phillies went to the big dance at the end of it, but they should be a much better regular season team. Full season of Bryce, Trey Turner. I don't know. I wonder if the Braves, who basically came back to win the division on the final weekend of the season last year, but the Mets should be better or same. The Phillies should be better, and the Braves should be... They can be the same.
They can kind of be the same.
They can be the same. You trust them as an organization. Sean Murphy's a great ball player. But the other dogs in their division got better. So, I don't know. Sound off in the comments about what you think I missed or what needs to be acknowledged more. We'll see, again, what else the trade season has for us. But, again, free agency-wise, we're into A.J. Pollux. We're into... Outside of Correa, Jurickson Profar, Michael Wacha, Gary Sanchez.
Yeah.
Gary Sanchez. We always thought that was going to be a different free agency, huh? It was not.